Hello, I played this game a couple of days ago. It was a pretty good one, so now I'm making a video about it. It was against GCU. And here we picked the giant spec. The screen is too fast to go over the specialists, unfortunately. And he's the supply spec with sledges. A pretty strong start in this patch. It's one of the reasons I've been picking the fang packs a little bit high nowadays, because the fangs are good against the sledges. And a lot of people are picking the sledgehammers right now. And we are doing an aggressive setup here. I have played against GCU in the past, but not in a while. It seems like he's kinda experimenting something as well here. Quite interesting deployment. I think it's better for us to be on the position he's not in. Or I'm not sure. We are giant spec after all. It's easy for us to combat these aggressive positions. If he deploys the sledges in our face, we could like go instant fortress round 2. Or something similar. Actually, he bought one Stormcaller. It's probably a pretty good option. Because it's literally good against all of our units. Good against our storms, good against fangs, and good against every giant we can buy. So here we find the deployment module. I love this item with giant spec. You can do so much stuff with it. In the past patches, like couple of months ago, I used to play the giant spec like a lot, and I always flew around the map with overlords or vulcans or whatever with the deployment module. Flanked a lot with vulcans and stuff like that. I love that kind of playstyle, and this game is a little bit like that. We are flanking with an arc light. I like these positions because the arc light will get a favorable trade from the crawlers. Then you can set up it even more or force the enemy to put something there. And we just developed chaff so we can go giants next turn. So this round we are just preparing for the next round. This is like a bad round for us. I would guess we lose this quite hard. This is also a pretty rough early game against the sledges before we get shield on the fangs. The sledge is such a strong unit right now. There's some good cards here. I think we can't utilize the charge ammo, but barrier and laser sight is both are very good. Like we are giant spec, the game will probably end up with some kind of giant battle. Because if I go giants, he needs to go melting points. So the laser sight is also pretty nice, because then our melter outranges his melting point. And here I remember something about this game. I was expecting him to pick the barrier and put the melting point here with the barrier. So I'm just trying to cheese the round, survive with a lot of HP, see where he's deploying, and then we can use the deployment module later. He's opting to go phoenixes and upgrades the tower. And I don't have a jump drive on the overlords, but we have the deployment module unlocked. This is a bit unlucky beacon because of the phoenixes. We would have won the round without the beacon, probably. Now the overlord just dies, right? Yeah, it's sad, very sad. Round 4 top supply, pretty good. Here we move the overlord with the deployment module and put pressure on this flank. So the good thing about this kind of playstyle, like this very gimmicky playstyle, but the enemy has to be everywhere against this. Then when the late game comes, you can just position your units in such a way that half of his army is completely useless. Then you just run him over from the other side. Like the early rounds is just to force him to deploy something in the wrong position. And he's committing actually pretty heavily here. He's moving the Phoenix here to combat, I guess, this, and putting melting point here. And although it's pretty obvious that I'm gonna use the deployment module, but I've been doing this a lot, and when I did this a lot, I often left my units here. Like GCU knows that I have the deployment module and he knows I can move this guy, but that's why I often play like that I don't move it. So it creates a lot of paranoia to the enemy. And with the giant spec, the boat is a very good combination with Fortress or Vulcan, depending on how much chaff the enemy has. Like here, GCU has a lot of resources tied to the tank or the sledgehammers, so the fortress is a lot better here than the Vulcan. And then we even get the redeployment. So here I'm expecting him to redeploy this melting point here. So that's why I'm redeploying all my stuff here. It's kind of funny. And I identified his chaff clear is pretty bad with the melting point and sledgehammers. Or the sledgehammers were doing pretty good, but now that we got the shield, they aren't doing anything anymore. I should probably distract these storms with one crawler though. And he's trying to pressure my tower here. Redeploy on the storms. These games are kinda luck based also. And he's also identifying that I got pretty bad chaff clear also. And going heavy on the crawlers. But the boat nowadays is pretty okay against chaff. They changed the missile speed in the latest patch. This always happens with the beacon this game, apparently. So he's very low on HP, so I'm smelling blood here. And I'll pick the lightning storm and go completely all in this round. And this kind of gimmicky play, I would rather close the game than try to go forward. And I redeploy the fangs because of the melting point. If you haven't seen my chaff guide video, in that video I teach that the melting point will target the crawlers, then the crawlers will run under the barrier, so the melting point beam refocuses and doesn't kill the barrier. And I'm expecting him to go replicate crawlers, like put crawler here, here, here and here. That's why I'm missiling this. And this is what I was talking about with the... Like here, look at the difference. The Melter couldn't get the shield, and now the Vulcan is stuck on the shield. A bit lucky also, but a small little play that is hugely impactful. But this was what I was talking about in the start, that these units basically did nothing here. the main fight was happening here, and then we just come and clean up. So that was it. Like I said, these games are a bit luck based usually, but they are pretty fun to play. I like them a lot, and I would think they are pretty fun to watch as well. So that's why I made the video. Yeah, thanks for watching.